Hello to my party people out there in Radio Land. Still Happy New Year, Happy 2018. Before I get started, I just have to say I don't hate Kia Souls no more. Like, ever since I made that little innocent comment, like in a transmission, I don't know, a couple months ago, these things have been following me everywhere. Everywhere I look up, there's a soul in a different color. Like, it's kind of crazy. Um, but and then I realized the deeper meaning, like follow the soul, and there's souls everywhere, and blah blah blah, all the tricks that the universe plays. But I will say for the record, I don't hate souls no more. Okay, I love souls. I love cute souls. They are amazing. They'll stop haunting me. All right, this week, life is a commissioned piece. Life is a commissioned piece. Um, okay, so life is a commissioned piece from who? From the creator of the universe. So, a commissioned piece. How commissioned art works, if you are not familiar, is that the visionary, right, or the person who's paying for it, the client in other circles or customer, requires a piece to be created, right? So maybe they say, I want you to paint me in all of my, you know, honor and regal nature, and I want you to capture, the warrior inside of me. Or they say, I want you to paint, this pretty little flower and capture the sadness of it. Or maybe they're not as dramatic as that, but they tell you what they want created. It can be in other modalities of art, but I'm just saying painting because that's what I do, and it's just easier to come to think of it. So, okay, they tell you what they want. They give you details, right? They tell you, I want you to capture this essence, or I want it to be this big. I want you to use these colors. This is what I want to convey, depending on the person. Or they may just be like, I just want you to paint a picture of my car, right? Or I want you to draw a picture of my car, like, and leave it completely up to you. Either way, they tell you what it is that they want. And they give you at least an overview, right? Who is the you? They give the artist, the creator of said piece, an overview. Yet they leave the actual creation of the piece and the physical manifestation up to the artist, right? So they don't usually micromanage. They can, but they don't usually micromanage. They usually allow the artist creativity and free, like, artistic reign over how they interpret the object that they are painting, or drawing, or whatever else, right? They allow the client, they being the client, or customer, however you want to say it, they allow the artist to use her own personality and unique style to produce or bring to fruition that which they request, right? That which the client requests, right? Okay, so you should see the pattern by now, all right? The creator of the universe is doing the same thing. So when you commission a piece, right, there's usually a contract. I expect it to be this big, to look like this, blah, blah, blah. It could be verbal, or it could be written, but there's a contract. Okay, same with you and God or the universe or the creator, Most High, however you call, her. You enter a soul contract before you come into this existence, right? Those are the terms that you have agreed upon. The same with commissioned art, right? You agree it's going to be this big, it's going to use acrylics, or it's going to use, watercolor, all of those things. Now, what the creator does not do is come down and make every creative decision for you. Now, what is creation? Creation is life, right? Everything that you're doing in life is creation in some form or another. Even if you say, well, I'm not an artist, I don't create, you create. Producing kids, that's the ultimate act of creation. You cook, right? That's creation. Putting sentences together, right? You use the words and you figure out how you want to put them together within, the grammatical rules, if that's your thing. But either way, you're creating every sense. Even, on your way home, you create the path that you want to take. Things like that. You create what you want to wear every day. Okay, I want these color socks with this, or blah, 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 this hairstyle, this nail color. Everything. On your job, you create I guess it depends on what you do, but you are creating, nevertheless. Nevertheless, you are creating things, whether you work with numbers, whether you teach, um, any of that stuff. So, it is all up to you, right? So you are working with what you have, what you have already established within the framework that has already been established from the beginning, but you are creating what you want and putting your own spin on it, right? So, what does this mean? This means that, oh, wow, sorry. This means that you are not a puppet on a string, right? Everybody wants to paint this picture like, oh, the universe just makes me da da da, and I'm at the mercy. Oh, I have my hand up to my head. You can't see it, but being real dramatic, like they do in them old movies, and the girl is like waiting on her king or her prince to rescue her, and she's, oh, I'm famished. That's what I'm doing. Right? That's how everybody wants to paint life, and that ain't what it is, right? Yes, there are certain things that have to happen. There is a such thing as destiny and all of that. Like, I am living proof of that. I'm not gonna go into details here, but there are situations that I was like, literally, the universe beat me into, and then afterwards I'm like, why? And then it was like, oh, and it all made sense. Like, even I use this example all the time, but even as far as returning to the States from paradise, right? People are like, how could you do that? And then going to another tropical city in the States, and then people are like, why did you leave? And then after the fact, it all made sense, right? Those things had to happen, but I still had free will, right? So we are not puppets on a string. We co-create our lives, right? We are the masters of our own fates, right? That's what it is. So again, going back to the commissioned piece, your client tells you what to paint, not how to paint it. All right, you got to get that. The client tells you what to paint, right? And sometimes they don't even tell you what. Sometimes they really just say, just paint something for me. I love those clients. They're the best. But they tell you what to paint, not how to paint it. They don't tell you which brush strokes to use. They don't tell you which paint brushes to use, right? Use this size paintbrush for this. Paint left to right. Paint it at 7 o'clock in the morning by the light of the sunrise or at the sunset. No, that's all up to you. When you paint it, how you paint it, the types of paint that you use, whatever it takes to get it done, right? So it allows you to have fun. It allows you to be the creator, because otherwise, what would be the point? What would be the point of a person telling you exactly how to paint, which paintbrushes to use, what size, what time to paint it, blah, 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 how much lighting to use in the piece? If that's the case, you'd be like, you might as well do it yourself. Why are you hiring me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want my vision, if you want my spin on it, my take on it, then you have to allow me to do this. It is the same with life. You can't just say, like, a lot of religious leaders try to paint this picture like, oh yeah, we just live in this life until we go home to glory, especially in the Black church. It's like we just suffering. We just going along with whatever this male, who sits in the sky, who may or may not be, look like you. He might be white or black, whatever, but it's always a he. And it's like, well, we just got to do. God told me to stay in this horrible job. God told me to, put up with nonsense in my relationship. It's what God wants. And it's like, no, God is like, stop lying on me. Like, I didn't. I gave you, these tools. You agreed to these obstacles before you came into the life so that it will set you up for greatness and so that you could learn and be the best person that you could be. Again, I spoke on this. That's why people jump over hurdles, things like that. So don't lie on me. Don't put that on me. This is your life. At any given moment, you can take charge of it and reclaim your power and do whatever you want. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? That's how the universe works. It's the same with art, right? Life is the ultimate commission piece. It is an ultimate work of art. That's all your life is. You mess up, you make a mistake. Okay, how can I remix this? How can I paint over this? How can I incorporate this quote unquote mistake into the final piece, into the masterpiece? That's all it is, baby. That's it. That's all it is, right? You are doing what you want within the framework of the obstacles that you have created, right? The circumstances that you are living within and that you have chosen before coming into this life. And you get to color it in. You get to color it in, right? It's an overview that you get to fill in. So people who say, well, I have horrible parents, I was abused by my parents since I was a baby, you know, blah, blah, blah. You hear stuff like that. And I don't mean blah, blah, blah to reduce the impact of it, to make it not important. But there are horrible stories out there. Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, know that there's a reason for that. Because otherwise, the alternative to that would be God loves you and not me. Why is it that I went through all this horrible stuff in life, but you never have, right? You would just be, that wouldn't be fair, right? But I already told you life is fair. It is. We chose these things. And that's why you have people who are at their lowest come out the greatest if they stick with it. If they stick with it and realize that. So that's all I got to say. Go paint your picture. Go paint your life, right? But you've already been given the framework, and now you get to fill in the blank, right? Well, what is it? What is it I'm supposed to create? I don't know. Whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever it is that you do without thinking, without trying to earn money, that you've done since you were a child, that you just love to do, that's just fun for you. That's whatever it is. It is that simple. Maybe it doesn't have a name, right? Maybe it doesn't have a profession. I was thinking of the French word for métier. But that means you're just supposed to create it. It's that simple, right? Somebody has to. Maybe it's going to be you. And that's it. That's it, y'all. Thank you for listening. Love, live, light, laughter. Bye.